And I release the other one. Shoot. Okay, I think, yeah, I just got them on there. It looks good. Solder's a little heavy and whatnot, but I think it's fine. Okay. And that doesn't feel hot. Okay, good. So those guys are all in there. Oh wait, this guy's still kind of close to our first pin. I'm going to pull him out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get this next guy in here. Where's he going? Yoy. I guess it doesn't matter all that much. Maybe I'll try up here. I know I'm definitely going to release this one because it's so close, but I think I am going to try up here. Okay, and I already released that one, so maybe since I've already done that, I'll just try to fix him and get him down like as low as possible. So we're not going to re-release him when we solder in the other one. If I can do it without burning myself, that would be ideal. Okay, there. That guy's in. Again. And let's get some wire out here. Alright. Well, let's get this guy in now. Okay. We'll wrap that guy around. Is that in there? Give that one more pop. Looks better. Hopefully I didn't overheat that. Okay. Yeah, that guy's in now too. Great. So we have our 4 switches in there, 6 position switches, our toggle switches in there, and I think with that, this board is complete now too. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay, so now this one we have a negative here. And I'm not sure if I should tie those into here as well. I think I will. So again, my convention was doing these all on the left sides. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm going to go ahead and prime this guy because I think I'm going to try to draw that one over here as well. Okay. And we're going to have to add some more to this guy. We might release him in the process, but I'm going to try to put it lower. I can't get a good angle. Keeps moving on me. Okay, there. That guy's in. Let's get these guys going now. Something like that. Should have probably had these pre-cut so when these were hot I could have just run them quickly. Didn't do that. I don't think it's that big of a deal though. It would be a little bit of smarter work maybe. I don't know. And I think what we're going to do is prime this guy as well. The bottoms, because we're going to run the secondary one over to the other. Okay, there. Let's try to get that other guy on there, maybe. Oh boy, it's hard angles. Okay, that guy's on. And let's do the upper one. Hopefully we can do this without messing it up. Without messing it up, meaning releasing the bottom one. Okay, there, that one's in. It's hard to see it. Hopefully I got a good connect. Oh, that's a great connect. Okay, good. Those two are in. Then this one back down, get it out of the way. And then we'll run this one over here and tie it in. Okay, that guy's tied in now too. It's great. I'm going to get him kind of bent down and out of the way for our blue data pin there. Same with this guy. Plenty of slack room. There. Great. That's what it looks like. Everything's tied in now. They're just waiting for all the blue data pins. Okay, let's go for this last board. Take a look. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one's already tied in. So we have 3, and then these 5 buttons over here that all need grounding. I'm going to quickly just make sure with these. I'm assuming I did the bottoms. I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to just keep it consistent with our other things. So I'm going to go to the MacBook Pro and kind of scroll through my pictures here and make sure this looks the same. Yeah, let's look at the bottoms here. I'm almost certain I would. Yep, I did tops blue, bottoms black. I don't think this should matter at all. It's just a button. So it shouldn't matter, but I'm going to go with that just for consistency. Sometimes there's devils in the details that you can't remember. Wrong camera. Let's go back to... No, that's the wrong camera. This one. Let's go back here. Okay. Great. So back over at the workstation, and let's get these guys in. So maybe what I'll do is... How am I going to do this? I will pre-cut the wires this time. Let's try that business. See if that helps at all. So this will be our top wire. Tie this guy in, these two together. And then where do those two go to? Those two are going to connect down to this other one here. Makes a lot of sense. So we'll run like that maybe. Give them a little extra slack. Those two will run down there. And then where do those go? And then those guys are going to go from here and connect this guy in because he's connected into one of the main ones. So we'll run that as well. And then over to there. Okay. Yeah, good. And then these guys over here, maybe we'll just do all of these. So this one will run to... Should I keep these in the middle? I think I'm going to... No, I'm going to do them on the outside. So I'm going to go like that. So let's get these buttons cross-connected in. One for that one. One for this guy. All right. What else? And then, so those connect those three together. And then those are going to have to run down here somewhere. So to these guys. So then we'll cross connect these. And what I'll do is I'll just make two the same length right off the bat. And then I can strip these guys, and now I got to figure out which one is going to be, tie it back into the like mains grounds over here where they're all connected. Could be that top one. I don't know. Which one should it be? Or should it be this bottom one that runs over to here? Yeah, let's go for that. Why not? I have it already measured out and it's ready to go. I don't think it really matters. And that's our kind of last one. I'll stick it up there. Okay, so we have all this cut now. Let's go ahead and start priming these guys up. So this one's going to need just one up here on the top. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just quickly, while that's still warm, hopefully get this guy. Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm not doing too well. That's what happens when you drink way too much coffee before you start soldering. I'm like Mr. Jitters. Okay. Well, that made it. That was ugly and not nice. I like resoldered that 3 times, but that's what happens with Mr. Coffee Jitters. Okay. Let's do this guy. Kind of go high road here and low road. And let's get, I guess we only need the 1. For some reason I thought this one was 2. Put kind of a ton of solder on there thinking I needed a lot of them, but I think I only need 1. Okay, so that guy's on 2. Oh, I do need 2, because of this guy on the bottom. That's what I was spacing out. Shoot, released my top one. It happens. Let's quickly do it while we have some thermal energy in there. Now I'm having troubles. Now I released my bottom one. There. I think I got them both. Woo! Tricky! Trying to do it before I like melt my switch leads or something. Okay, good. Those guys look good. I kind of bend them down and get them out of the way. Also be able to read our text there. Good. And now this guy is going to run down here. And this one is another double one, right? Because it's going to connect here and then also run, oh yeah, here. So here, let me get all of these kind of primed. Well, maybe I'll do this guy first. Okay, and then I'll do this top one. And we'll just kind of pray that we can get, this is a good angle I have going here. Hopefully I can get this other one in there. It's a good angle for that side. It's a bad angle. I'll have to try this left-handed. I'm not very ambidextrous. Some people are really good at kind of switching hands for things. Not really one of them. Okay, did I get that though? I think I did. A little sloppy again. Get worried about putting too much energy into the switch, but I think that went okay. Okay, good. Both negatives tied in, and now we need to tie it into this guy. Oh wait, that has some kind of gunk on it. It's just riding on my, there we go. God, I don't know why this thing is giving me such troubles. There we go. Whew. Yeah, that guy's in there good. And I'm going to do the same, bend that down and kind of out of the way. So we're not causing any issues there later. Okay, good. Everything okay, it looks okay. So those guys are done. What do we get? Yeah, those guys are tied in now. Because this guy's tied into this main, which is connected to these. So now let's get these guys going. These guys are going to be a little bit trickier because it looks like these are a little bit more sensitive, these button leads. A little worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. So maybe I'll do the low side first and do it out here. Okay. I guess let's do this side for this one. Let's try the right side, left side thing. Okay, there, that one's good. Ooh, and I can feel it's already melting the button lead, which is not good. So I remember these being a little sensitive last time. So we're gonna have to be real quick and careful with these guys because the leads just conduct right to that plastic below really quickly. Okay, this guy's on too. So it might be just a fact of giving it ample time in between solders to make sure we don't over stress the system. Okay, there, shit. It popped off the other side. That was kind of sloppy, but it did work. Okay, there. I think I got that. I don't want to mess with those. They may not be the most beautiful, but they're on there, and I don't want to melt our switch up. Our buttons. So that worked. Now let's see if we can get this guy on down here. Maybe I'll do left side again. Okay, that guy's on. Ooh, boy, it started melting that switch lead again already. I felt getting, ow, spongy in there. I think we're just fine though. Doesn't look like it firmed right back up. I'm going to move these guys out of the way for when we put the housing on over here. Okay, this one's done. And now these two. Maybe what I'm going to do is... Ooh boy, this is tricky. Maybe I'll run one of the negatives from this one over to here. And then just connect these two and run them over here or something. I don't know what's better. I'm worried about running two more lines and then two. Because then I only have to run one. I think I'm going to try that. So I'm going to attempt to... oh, and this guy has a free lead over here. This is great. It makes that easier. This is going to be just the tricky bit, though, is getting these guys connected in. So let's see if these will reach over here well. Oh, those will reach great. Now, tricky thing again is getting this guy on without releasing the others and all that stuff. Okay, I did feel it pop over here, but I think it just kind of loosened and then retightened. I think we're good there. Whew, boy, that was tricky. These are tricky. Okay, now what? Okay, these guys. Let's see, what do we got? We got so these are going to be different now. This guy is going to reach here to here, and this guy has to be much smaller because it's just reaching here to here. So I'm going to cut this, say, in half, and then trim that guy off. And what do we want to do? Okay, we are gonna run that guy on the inside down below. Running these lower is a little bit riskier because it's closer to the housing where it gets hot. Okay, there, that one's on. Okay, when it gets tricky like this, sometimes I use the tweezers. I might have to resort to that. I think I got the right angle. Okay. Okay, there, that looks great. And I did that relatively quickly. Okay, those guys are on. Now, hopefully we can keep those on without releasing while I attach this guy. Okay, got some solder on there. And we're going to prime this guy up a little more, too. And then where's our other wire? I'm going to run that guy. So hopefully we can get this guy on. There, good. That went well. Better than it usually goes. Oh yeah, that went really well. I couldn't ask for anything better there. It's pretty amazing. Never goes down. Ow! Except now I just branded myself. Alright, there we go. So, got those guys in. So all our negatives are in now. We just need data lines. Yeah, those all look good. Those are all connected in properly. So are these guys. I think we're good. So, where does that leave us? We have... Let me switch over here. Okay, so where does that leave us? We have all of the black cross connects in. Can we do anything else? Not really. The only thing that we could do at this point is run blue data lines, but those are all going to have to be to the multiplexers. And I could just guess and cut lengths of blue wire, but they would be either too short or some would be too long. You waste a lot of wire. So I think our next step is to build our enclosure, hot glue in the multiplexers in place where they're going to be, and then start running the data lines to the multiplexers. Okay, so that said, here are the multiplexers. Hold these up, hopefully that's focusing well. These are the 16 channel multiplexers, and we need female header pins on these guys. So there are 6 of them for this project, 6 multiplexers, and we need all of them to have header pins. So I'm going to grab those, and that's what we're going to put on here. Alright, grabbed a handful of header pins, and now we just need to trim these guys down and get them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I guess I'll switch back to our SE2 view for this. Okay, there, that one's cut, and I'm just going to trim this pretty. Okay, so 115 channel one, and now I can just use this to make the other 15s, which is kind of handy. I didn't really check. It might have been smarter to cut the other pins or something, but I didn't. I don't know if that's true exactly though, because we waste some pins now because there's not enough on this one to reach. We're too short. So let's do the next one a little bit differently and see if that's more efficient. I don't know. Not really counting or thinking much, I'm just doing it. Okay, now if I cut this one, will be this might be a better option. I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna have 15 if we cut them this way. Ooh, got lucky on that cut. Okay, so that's correct. Now this one will reach a 15. No, it's also too short. So you're too short. Anyway, you go about this. So I think the way I was doing it before is probably a little better. You can get 2 15s out of it. So let's go that route. How many? We need 6. 4. We have 4. And this will be number 5. Let's keep our scraps out of the way over there. This should be number 6. And we'll see how many of the shorter ones we get from this. So that's 3 and 6. Is this the correct one? Just to make sure before I all start matching these. Yes, that is correct sizing. Let's trim this guy down. Yeah, this is the correct one. So now I can just use this as my template. Tricky. Sometimes that one looked like there's no pin inside, but it was almost a full cell or whatever, so it tricked me and I almost thought it was a full one. And then it was hollow. Okay, how many do we got? 2, 3. Get rid of this guy. I think we can get one out of here too. Okay, great. Yeah. That's 4, and then we need 2 more. Okay, 5 and 6. Okay, we'll get rid of those guys. Do we have everything now? Do we have what we need? Let me do a little housekeeping here, get these things out of the way, and get this junk out of the way. Okay. Yeah, so now we have these. So there we are. So we have our board, circuit board, and we have matching female header pins. This is how I'm going to do it. So there we go. And then what I do is I flip these over and then look from the side here and make sure they're leveled out. Make sure that they're sitting perfectly flat because it will like wobble and fall over sometimes. And then the best thing to do is tack in a corner at a time. Okay. That first one was a little messy. But yeah, and then I make sure these, after I tack them in, I make sure that they're level. And then what I usually do is just to kind of be safe, I'll go on the other side and tack those first, just so we're not going to have any movement as we go. And at that point, it's just running these things down the line. All right. Okay, so that one's done. That's side anyway, all 16. Now I'm just doing all the kind of data ports on this side. Okay, done. So multiplexer 1, boy, it's quite hot. Those are all soldered in there and ready to go. That looks great. So what's left now is we need to do the rest. Let's bust them out. I'm excited to hear this thing make noise. I think that's the fun of working on electronics projects that involve sound, because then at the end you get the bonus of like being able to hear something. I mean, I like LED and lighting projects and things as well, but I don't know why. I think I find the sound projects kind of the most fun at the end to hear the results. All right. There we go. Number 2's done. Let's move on to number 3. Ooh, got that a little off. Right at the last second, it kind of moved to the side. Oh, it straightened up. I hope you could, yeah, this is a pretty good view to see these. I mean, maybe I can work a little bit more sideways or something, but... yeah, that's a little better view to see me work, I guess. If you ever have questions or suggestions of what you want to see or do or whatever, you can, feel free to write those in the chat. I don't have headphones on, so I can't hear any kind of chat notifications, and this fan's quite loud. So I might not see it immediately, but I try to glance over every so many minutes and just see if anyone's writing or saying anything at all. Try to turn this guy on the side again so it's a little easier to see maybe. Alright, a few more. I think this is 12 more I have now or so, or 11. Okay, one more. Boom! Done. Number 4 is done. Let's get on to number 5 here. Alright, get this guy set up. Count him out. And stay level. Yeah, it did. I hate the fiberglass. These are those PCBs where you gotta they come as just one brick and you gotta kind of break them all apart to make the individual ones. And I hate that because they always splinter when they do that. And it leaves all this jagged little fiberglass fibers hanging off the board. And I always get those stupid things stuck in my fingers and stuff. I hate that. Fiberglass, anything is the worst. Just absolutely hate it. Right? 3, 2, 1. Finito. 5. One more. And then all of our multiplexers will be done. And then I think what we're going to do is move on to body construction. Okay, that was a rough one. It did stay level though, amazingly. Didn't feel like it. Okay, we got it tacked in. Okay, there we go. Number 4, 5, 6. Like if I could get the heat on it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, here we go. The other side. 2, 3, 4. A little short on that one. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, done. Woo! Multiplexers are done. Okay, got 6 of those guys set. Now, I think for a bit we're done with this guy with the soldering iron. I could turn this stupid fan off. Take this visor off. Okay, good. So as you can see, these guys are all finished. Got them soldered up, and they should be ready to go. Switch back to the main cam. All right, so now what? I think we just got to build up the housing. Is that right? Before I start on that, I just want to double check and make sure there's nothing else I can kind of do. Nope, that's it. So let's do that. I think. Let me see what time it is. Am I gonna eat? What's happening here? Of course, there's no. Boy, I hate that on Windows. There is no immediate. Let's see, time thing, and I'm using so it's 11:30. Yeah, I think we can go for this. I think we can go for getting the body set up. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so with that said. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to change this camera angle here onto the floor because we're going to switch over to do that for a second here. So I'm going to push that in. I'm going to set this up so there's a good floor view. And then it's going to be tricky, but I think we'll be able to fit everything in this way. So that's the top one. I'm going to start with the bottom one. I guess we'll go bottom up. Makes sense to me. And so let's switch over to that view now, which is the SE2. There we go. Okay, and what's a good angle? This is probably pretty good. Boy, I can't see anything there. My mic's in the way. I'm going to get that out of the way. All right. So this looks good. I think my audio will be good here. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing this audio around and put this mic down here as well. I think that's going to give me a little extra boost in audio too, because it's really hard to tell what's coming through and what's not, what have you. So yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got going here? I'm going to pull this down even more. I can get this even closer. All right, so what do we have going here? We are going to build this thing. This is our front plate. This is the back side with the USB port to get that guy plugged in. Okay, here's our bottom with our microcontroller. And I already put the rubber feet on. So that's our base. We have our 2 sides. And then this is going to be the top, which has the pass-through because we're going to stack these modules. There's 4 of them, right? Okay, so let me grab the rubber mallet here. The rubber mallet, okay. And so which are we going to do first? I think we're going to do this side first. So I'm going to flip this over so I'm not pounding on my... and I made these press fit, so I didn't have to use glue and things, but these aren't like super press fit, if you follow me. And what I mean by that is, here, we got to do the front side, not the back. We're not going to put the back on now because we need to get in here to work on the rest of the electronics, right? So we're going to have to put the front side on now. And I made these press fit, but I made them not like super tight press fit. And the reason for that is because they're prototyping, they frequently have to take things off again. So like you have a problem, you want to work on it for a little bit, and then you put it back on and all those kinds of things. So it's kind of good and bad, this system, because it fits together and it stays. But sometimes you can have ones that, just because of the wood and the shrinkage and all that, where it won't fit like super tight, or it'll pop off, or it'll warp. It's also the problem with using the 1/8" plywood. If I was going to do this, you know, really permanently and use this laser cut style, I'd probably want to go with 1/4" plywood and tighter press fits. What I did last time to get around this too is I end up this seam in here, I'll hot glue all these seams, and that will make it really permanent. I don't do it on the back plate again, so I always have that kind of access from the back, which I find really it's invaluable. You need it because things will go wrong here and there, and you might need to access it. Okay, so there we go there, and now I'm going to do this side. Sometimes I will look for the grain and kind of pick the pretty side, or which one's warping one way or another, a little better or worse, you know. Working with wood's always fun and tricky at the same time. Okay, those are in there. That looks great. So there's our front, and that's kind of the inside now. And I'm going to go ahead and put the top on now as well. Kind of look and see which is which. I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. It warps slightly this way, I think. So I think this will be kind of a good way to put it. Now, to make these cases, there is a handy online site. I think it's called, I always get it mixed up. It's either makercase.com or casemaker.com. And they basically let you, just kind of put in your measurements, and you can change the kind of tabbing style like this, or like different interlocking shapes. And then you can export it as like I can't remember, a DXF or an AI file or something like that, and it gets you the kind of template. And then all I do is drop in my Adobe Illustrator graphic file on top that is etched, which is the Moog interface. And then of course also in the Illustrator I would edit and put in all the buttons and holes and all this stuff. These guys are these are slightly bigger than the bolts that I use, and that is used to sandwich on the next piece that also has these same cutouts, and then I bolt these together, the different layers together. All right, so this guy will stay off for a while. Put it over here. Won't need that because all of our work is going to be in here to start connecting things to the microcontroller. But I'm going to go ahead and build all 4 pieces, and then I'm going to have to bolt them all together as well. But for right now, I'm going to just build each of the 4 in order from bottom to top. So here's our next one. This is our back plate again. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy over here to the side. I'll put these in order. It's always good to keep things in order so you don't get mixed up, especially this one, it's kind of a little bit more obvious which one goes with which maybe, but it's really easy to mix up these laser cut pieces, and if they're similar sizes, it gets really tough, and then you'll have weird alignment issues, and it's because you mixed up your pieces. So try to keep them straight. This one has both the bottom and the top with cutouts because it's going to sit in there like this, right? So this one's going to go on top, and then this one's going to go on top of that. All right. So bottom, I guess. Let's call that bottom. And now this is the tricky part. We got to make sure if this is the front, how's this work? So yeah, it definitely works this way for the sides. They fit a certain way. There's one orientation that works. Would it work this way? No. So it is this way and this way. Okay. So now this one I'm going to kind of pick. I think this is the prettier grain side. I'm going to pick that one. Okay. And then we need a front side. Does it matter here? I better make sure I'm not going to mix something up and like have this incorrect. I think it's the same either way. I think it works both ways. It's always good to check. Okay, so let's get this guy on here now. Okay, now the other side. Where's the pretty grain side? Both of these are kind of nice. This side though. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, good. So there we go, and then we'll put on the top plate. These don't matter so much because they are sandwiched in, but this one has some scoring and this one doesn't, so you do see the other side. So I will use this side because this one will be sandwiched where you would never see it. And I do that, doesn't really matter so much. Probably never going to see in here again anyway. See some through there. Those weren't quite flush, either of these. All right, and that's module 2. You can see from the inside. It does get a bit tricky to solder, to reach in here to solder these guys up, but that's just the way it goes. I thought about, doing this a different way, not doing it this way, but I think it's going to be easier to solder those in to get the leads pretty much the right lengths. And then of course, like I said, these are going to stack. So this one stacks, and these bolt holes line up, and we'll bolt these guys together. And then that kind of gives you an idea of the shape. Come over here, and that's the front, what it's going to look like. Now, when I made these, I didn't spend a lot of time. Most of the kind of the fingers here, that joint, the finger joints, they line up. Usually this one didn't because this is a smaller one, and there's different considerations when you do the case maker. If you wanted to, you could really design this to kind of match those up better. Or again, I think it would be cool to redesign this with using PCBs as the front cover, so it would look more like the original Moog. But we're not doing that, so good enough. Okay, number 3. Module number 3. Here we go. Here's our front. Still has some. And then this will be our back, so we're going to put this guy off to the side. Here's our sides and our top and bottom. Okay. So this is going to be, say, our top or our bottom, I guess. So I'm going to put the ugly side. No, this side. If this is our bottom, it's going to match there. Okay, great. And then we are going to put our sides on, which do match that way. And I think this clean side is the prettier side. Kind of off cam here, aren't I? Alright, I'm going to stay more centered. Okay, side 1 is on. And what do we need? We need our front now. Okay, so yep, that's it. Flip this to the side and put this guy on. And sometimes getting these lined up is a bit tricky. This guy's giving me some issues. Okay, good. Good. And let's do the other side. I think this is going to be the prettier side. It doesn't have any of these kind of blushes or whatever on there. That's all kind of style preference, I guess. Going clean. Does have some still nice patterning. Now, I didn't treat these at all. I'll probably be better in the long run. It would probably work less and things, but I didn't do that. Just kind of stick these things together. Suppose you could paint them or stain them or something else. Okay. There we go. There's that. Let's put the top on, and then this guy will be done as well. This side will be the covered side, so again, I think this is the ugly side, so we'll put that up because this one is actually going to be sandwiched to the other one, so you never see it. But you could possibly see the underneath if you were in there maintenance. Alright, that looks great. Okay, so there's the front, top, and bottom, and then our back side where we're going to get in here to work. These ones are a little better. I think this one's probably the hardest because it's the narrowest. Those are going to be kind of tough, but there's not a lot of them, which is good. This is a lot, but it is a little easier to get in and out of because of the workspace there. Stick this guy on top. You can't really see it, but it looks kind of like that inside now. And this guy. Nice! Yeah, and it'd be nice if I don't destroy the project before I even build it. The good thing is, these things are pretty darn resilient. And there's also not much we can kind of destroy in terms of the pots and stuff either, really. Luckily, Luckily, that is to say. All right. So I'll leave that one off for now, or I'm going to destroy my project. All right, here we go. Last one. Here's our front plates, our back, which I will separate again, and our sides. Now this one is our final top. This one is actually the most important because it's going to be the actual top of the box that you will see all the time, and that's not bad. It's hard to see on there, but there are some like little marks and stuff. I'm going to choose this nice clean side. It does have some nice grain that's kind of hard to see in the glint of this light. Okay, and which side? This side will be our sandwich side, and this will be the side we see. And as for the sides, same. I think these two outer ones look the best, so I'm going to put these in there. Ooh, that one's quite loose. This is one of the ones I was talking about where it didn't really press fit well. It was really loose. Sometimes it's just the wood. But usually that's not a problem as long as you have the piece that joins it like this. This front plate seems like it's much more robust at joining. There we go. Flip this guy on the side. Yeah, this guy's definitely loose. But a lot of these issues are also taken care of once I am going to hot glue this from the inside, like I said. And again, these issues could be taken care of if you, when you laser cut these. You could make the tolerances even tighter so that the press fits are really tight. The only downside to that is if something goes wrong or you need to take it apart, they are like, basically you destroy the object trying to get it off because it's just so tightly press fit. So I try not to do that. But if I was absolutely confident on something, I would do that. And I think it would, help things along. This one, on the other hand, is quite tight. All right. Now just our top, which is this guy. How do I want this to look? This. I think like this looks good. Probably blowing out your eardrums on that side if you're watching, but sorry about that. Yeah, this bottom side is loose, and with the kind of torsional stuff or whatever with the wood, this one's wanting to pop out. So I am going to definitely have to glue that guy in. But also, once we start screwing these all together and stuff, it takes a lot of the bends and things out. When we do it. So there's the front, and there's our bottom, and this will be our top and our back side. And then this guy is a little loose right on this edge. I have to be careful. It keeps popping out. But this guy's going to go in here. And there we go. That's the front. All right, so we have all four units kind of like 3/4 built. There they are. So those guys are built. And now, what's next? Next is to work on getting the multiplexers hot glued in there and then running data lines and power lines back to the Arduino. But I am going to wait on that and do that after lunch. So I am going to switch cams here to wrap up for today. So, come back here to the main cam. and go to 1. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it here for now. We got a lot done. We got our grounds all in, and we built the 3/4 kind of enclosures for all of them. Not sure. I think I'll probably come back after lunch. We'll see. It's a beautiful day here today. It's almost 70 degrees it's going to be, so I may want to go out and go running or something. But what we can do is, if I do come back, whenever I come back, the next step will be bolting all of them together, and then starting to run those data lines from the multiplexers down to the Arduino. All right, so I hope you're all having a good day out there, and I will see you again on the flip side. Take care. So long.